Hello, class. So today we're going to be learning about how to use or how to define some unknown words. Give me a second here. All right. So defining unknown words. Your I can statement for today is I can define unknown words using context clues and a dictionary. Move this toolbar so that you can read. Okay. On this page. All right. So what is a dictionary and how can it help me? So a dictionary can be used to look up the meaning of a word. So if you're following along with your guided notes, meaning should be put in your blank. You can also use the dictionary to check the spelling of a word. And dictionaries can also give other information about words such as the word type and word origin. So for today's warm-up, I want you to think about if you were reading a book and saw a word that you didn't know, how would you figure out what it means? Write your answer on the worksheet for today's lesson. So take a minute, pause the video, and answer that question. All right, so for today's lesson, you've got some look-fors. The first thing, by the end of today's lesson, you will be able to use context clues to find the meaning of an unknown word, use a dictionary to clarify what the word means, write your own definition of the unknown word, and use this word in a sentence that you wrote on your own. Okay, so first we're going to look at how to use a dictionary. So the first thing is you're going to want to find the word that you want to look up. And then you're going to find the letter that the word begins with. So if our word is amused, the first letter of that word is A. Okay, so now you've got an example of what a page of a dictionary looks like. So while you're going through the dictionary, you're going to open the dictionary to the page with the first letter of your word. So if we know that amuse starts with A, it's going to be near the beginning of the dictionary because A is the first letter of the alphabet. And then you're going to look at the second letter of your word. So amuse starts with AM. So you're going to look for at the top of your dictionary page, there's words called guide words. And these guide words show you what words are included on your page. So this over here, amputate is a guide word, and ancient on the other side is also a guide word. So guide words show you what the page starts with, what word starts that page, and what word is the last word on that page. So this page of the dictionary starts with words that start with AM. So then you're going to look at the guide words at the top, and you're going to keep going through your word. You're going to look at the third letter of the word and so on until you locate the word in the dictionary. So if we look at this page, it starts with amputate, and then the next word on that page, lucky for us, is amuse. So that's the word we were looking for. So now that you have found your word, look at the different meanings it has. So we can see the word amuse here, and I can see that it's got two definitions. So we're going to read both definitions, and then we're going to use our context clues to figure out what meaning we think that amuse might have in that sentence. So it's to hold someone's attention in a pleasant or agreeable way, or to cause to laugh or smile. So she was amused by the movie. I think it might be the second one, to cause to laugh or smile. Okay, so the next thing we're going to learn is about context clues. Oh, and when you're looking at words in the dictionary, it also tells you what kind of word it is. So it'll tell you if it's a verb, a noun, an adjective. So context clues. There are a few ways that you can use context clues to help you. The first one is an inference, so that's a guess based on um, the sentences before, after, or sometimes in the same sentence, you'll see clues in the text to tell you what the word might mean. So, as he was eating his hot dog, he felt a large blob of ketchup fall and splash onto his shirt. He looked down and saw the stain was enormous. So, if we're looking for the word enormous, we're going to look for clues in the sentence before or after to see what that might mean. The clue I see is large blob. So, large blob might be telling us about the size of the stain. So, if it was a large blob of ketchup, it might be a large stain. Okay, the next one is definition. Sometimes the definition is included in the sentence. The stain was enormous. It was so big it covered most of the shirt. So a big clue that they're telling you definition is this thing called a semicolon right here. So a lot of times if it's right after the word, they'll be telling you what that word means in the next part of the sentence. It was so big it covered most of the shirt. So this is a big stain. It's enormous. Okay. Another kind of context clue is an example. So sometimes they'll give you an example of the word after they use it. So the stain was enormous. It was so big, it could have covered the whole of Texas. So we know Texas is a big state. They're saying it's so big, enormous means that it's a big stain. Antonyms, the opposite meaning words can be used to clarify what the word means. So the stain was not tiny. Not tiny. It was enormous. And then we have synonyms, words that mean the same thing as the unknown word. The stain was enormous, huge, and immense. So they're giving us all three words here that all mean the same thing. So if you don't know what enormous means, you might know what huge or immense means and know that they all mean the same thing. They're all synonyms. Okay. So now I want you to go back and add to your warm up. Now, what are some tools you can use to figure out the meaning of a word that you don't know? Go back and add to your warm up for today's lesson using your guided notes. So, as you were watching this, you're supposed to be adding to your guided notes. And today, you're going to be learning about how to do those things in your activities today. So, if you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you soon.